We're working on speech anxiety in all its gross forms. And we are talking with Bhav. Say howdy, Bhav.
Howdy.
And Bhav is originally from Pittsburgh, and he's a MIT graduate who's in medical school at Stanford. And he started stuttering, let's see, when he was 4, and mainly most recently with strangers, authorities, and in class. And we've been talking since, I guess, July. And at this point, he hasn't had, well, let me ask you some questions. You told me on August 12th you hadn't had a bad incident in a week at least.
Yeah, multiple weeks. In fact, almost a month, I would say. Now it's been a month at this point.
Have you been a month yet?
Yeah, I think this as of
Okay.
it's
So
definitely this month.
I think it would be appropriate for for you to draft some kind of a stop stuttering story that it can be under a pseudonym, it can be with or without a picture. We would prefer it with a picture, but we understand some people have problems with that. It really hurts to not have a picture, but a pseudonym doesn't really matter that much to us because we have a sea of people who've beaten it. You're part of the sea now, and for anybody to find you, they'd have to go looking for your name. But your name is a bit unusual, at least in the Western world. So
Yes.
so we don't have to use you. We could call you Bob, or something if you
Oh,
prefer.
Coach, I'm more than happy to have both my actual name and my actual picture. That's
Okay, well, be your actual first name.
yes,
We would not put in your last name,
that is perfectly
not
fine.
in a stop stuttering story. I mean, if you did something else for us, that might be different. But for the stop stuttering story, we would.
Yeah.
So you will. Last bad over a month ago, and so you're going to write. What I call a stop stuttering story and email it to me.
Yes.
And more that it reveals the negative side of your story and how it was, the better, because that helps other people understand that, when they have something that's very similar, um, they tell them. They say, well, look, this guy did it, so I can do it too. It's kind of like my story in court. I my life seemed like it was over to me. Um, and I was barely older than you. I had a couple of years on you at the time. And I was married with 2 children and broke. And so I was in dire straits. But in any event, it worked out. Um, so let me ask you some other questions. So, first base is not having bad incidents. And I told you before we started this recording that you're not finished with first base. You got to go around the horn. You've got to stop planning words. And that means anywhere, and under pressure with authorities, strangers, in class, I don't care where you are, you don't plan words. You may write out a speech and read it or memorize it, that's different. But you don't plan words in dialogue like I'm having right now with you.
Right.
So my question is, are you still planning words? And if so, where and how often and so forth?
I would say I'm no longer. I can't recall a time distinctly now when I planned words. I obviously plan thoughts and ideas, but I definitely don't plan the exact order or sequence or structure of what
Good.
I will
You
say.
can't fear what you don't plan, Bob.
Right.
You may make a mistake, but it's not fear driven. And you're going to forgive yourself non fear driven mistakes. And
Yeah.
you're going to slow your speech, work on your pronunciation, and on the passion that you have for what you say. So you're going to forgive and forget your non fear driven mistakes.
Right.
And you're going to keep working on crutch 11 slowly. Pronunciation, passion, smiling stops.
Yeah.
When you become the best speaker you can be, you're going to be one of the best speakers you know, and
Yeah.
maybe the best.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think I need to do more of that because even though I've stopped stuttering, I easily can still elevate my speech with a few simple modifications,
Sure.
slowing just a bit down, having more pauses, smiling, and speaking with passion, really trying to sell and convince what it
Be an
is.
actor like you're on the stage.
Right.
You know, Shakespeare said it, all the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They
Yeah.
have their exits and their entrances, and each man in his time plays many parts.
Right.
That's what he wrote in As You Like It. And that's one of the most famous quotes in all of
Yeah.
the theatrical world.
Yeah.
All the world's a stage, and you're on a stage. You're on a stage every time with strangers, with authorities, in class. You're on a stage. You're having fun with this thing. You
Yeah.
love to speak. This is not a burden. It's something look, we're the only creatures on the planet who can do it. We need to celebrate it.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to do that. So
Absolutely.
not planning words either. I love hearing that. So then the next question is that's second base. Third base is loving to speak everywhere. How are you doing with that?
I love to speak virtually everywhere. I think by and large, the fear has dropped, which has in turn made it easier not to plan words as well. So, in some sense, uh, inching my way closer to third base has helped me really solidify first and second base. I don't know exactly how high of a pressure zone I could be in and still feel smooth and comfortable, but I definitely would say I think the fear has dropped at least by half.
And don't worry about when the fear is going to die. Don't worry about that. What you want to focus on is improving the quality of your speech in all venues, from the most casual ordering a hamburger at McDonald's to giving a talk at medical school to the entire student body.
Yeah,
You're going to give it your best shot all the time.
right.
And how can you practice that? Putting yourself under pressure. Seek pressure circumstances. If you see a couple of strangers talking, get over there and ask them a question. If you see a couple of authority figures that you can have a reason to address for some reason, zap over there. Don't hold back. In class, get your hand up.
Yeah,
If they're looking for a master of ceremonies for a function, raise your hand and go do it.
right.
Now, all of that you do, and then I'm going to say to you, You know what's helps my speech the most? Reading aloud.
Yeah,
That really elevates my speech.
that's
It's
right.
so much fun. And I want you to read aloud to me.
Behind the smiles, behind the tears, are silent words that no one hears. Conversations well thought out, but censored through my pain and doubt. So much of who is really me that most will never chance to see. From thoughts to words, there's compromise, and speech becomes an enterprise. Stuttering is not my choice. I really have a lovely voice, but words too often bond with dread, and then so much is left unsaid. I know quite well what I would say, though it may not always sound that way. If you judge me by my speech alone, the loss you face will be your own. There's much more to me than meets the ear. There's someone special here.
That was so well done. Really. That was, I don't know if I can improve on that. I think that was just so well done. I
Thank you
loved it.
very much.
You gave a lot of feeling to that. And naturally, I'm a different person. I'm going to have different slants, but I don't know that I can do that any better.
No,
Uh,
well, I really appreciate that.
it's, it's it's a challenge. So you've thrown down the gauntlet and
Right.
said, and said, okay, can you top this? And I don't think I can. I think I can do it differently,
Sure,
but
sure,
I
of
don't
course.
think I can top it. So I
And
say, go ahead.
oh yeah, just a brief note. I think the beautiful thing about reading aloud poetry specifically is because of how the stanzas are structured, you naturally actually speak in short increments. And you
Yes,
naturally pause based on
right.
the rhythm.
But you're absolutely right. But the point is, you can speak and I can speak in short increments, whether we're doing poetry
Yeah,
or not. And that's the challenge. When we speak, you just said it. Think of what you're saying to whomever the listeners may be. Short increments, long stops. You may or may not need to think linked words. Depends on if your heart's not running, don't worry about linked.
yeah,
If it's running, link them. But otherwise, it's short and stops. Do this and focus on that and pronunciation and feelings. I mean, you were doing that obviously, and that's the secret. If you approach your speech like that, you're going to love to speak, and it's going to be very soon.
yeah.
Everywhere you go, you're going to love to speak.
Right, right.
So,
It's almost like getting paid to act,
exactly,
right?
exactly. And I was from a family of like orators. My father, my aunt, I've told you, was on Broadway for years. And I mean, these were pros, at speaking. So
Right.
I mean, for stuttering, they couldn't fathom it. They couldn't grasp why anybody would stutter. I mean, what a strange, weird thing. The thought would never occur to them. So go ahead and read me as time goes by.
Okay. You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say, I love you. On that, you can rely. No matter what the future brings as time goes by. Moonlight and love songs, never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy, and hate. Women needs man, and man must have his mate. That no one can deny. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by.
Once again, you about that era or even about this film, and certainly not about this song.
Yeah.
I'll read it. You must remember this. A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. And when two lovers woo, they still say, I love you. On that, you can rely, no matter what the future brings, as time goes by. Moonlight and love songs, never out of date. Hearts full of passion, jealousy, and hate. Woman needs man, and man must have his mate. That no one can deny. It's still the same old story, a fight for love and glory, a case of do or die. The world will always welcome lovers as time goes by.
That was lovely, Lee.
Well, you did it very well too, but it's, I just, I love this kind of thing. It's so good. But look, you challenged yourself today twice and you did a really good job stepping up to the plate and reading something from the heart, from the marrow of your bones. And everything is not that important. Maybe you're asking someone to pass the butter, or where is the men's room or whatever, but you can be an actor and you can approach your speech that way. But you'll have to slow down and you'll have to have stops.
Yeah.
And you'll have to think about feeling what it
Yeah.
is you're saying. And if you do those things, you're never going to stutter. That's the last thing that's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
So, to eloquence. And
Yeah.
it's like finding things that you can read that will make a difference. You know, there's so much in life that's negative, and the trick is to dwell on the positives because there's, while there's so much that's negative, there's a lot of stuff that's positive too. And you know, our life is between our ears, and we got to choose, do we want to live with the negatives or do we want to live with the positives? And we obviously want to live with the positives, so we got to put them there. And this song is a very good example
Right.
of putting the positives first. So go ahead and read me that one.
The moon belongs to everyone. The best things in life are free. The stars belong to everyone. They gleam there for you and me. The flowers in spring, the robins that sing, the moonbeams that shine, they're yours, they're mine. And love can come to everyone. The best things in life are free, and love can come to everyone. The best things in life are free.
Well done. Again, it's your maiden voyage on it, and it's not easy. I just I put in a recording of it by an unknown, who's a guy is very good, however, or the singer. I think you'll enjoy playing both of them. You know,
Yes.
it'll, by doing that, you'll hear them at their best with their music and so forth, and that's even better. You'll enjoy it even more. But you're definitely getting the idea. It's all about focusing on feel positive emotions.
Right.
That's the secret. And being on the stage and seeing yourself there and being glad to be there.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity. View all speaking under pressure as an opportunity for excellence, for fun,
Right.
because you're going to be yourself. You're going to follow some basic rules, and you're going to do, when you do your best, it's going to be very good. Believe me. And there'll always be people out there who'll be saying, gosh, he really did a good job on that. You know, it's
Yeah.
not going to be the other way. So that's where we are. So
Great.
what do you want to do next? I mean, you're going to email me a Stop Stuttering Story, and
Yes.
um, we can meet again. In a couple of weeks or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah. That sounds great.
and we can go over your Stop Stuttering Story then too, if you like. You know, it can be short, medium, or long. It's length has nothing to do with it. It just is what it is,
Okay.
and you put your heart out there.
Yeah.
You've suffered, or you wouldn't be here.
Right. It's been a long road here, coach. So I'm actually quite excited to work on this.
Well, I'm really glad you are, and I'm looking forward to it. It's been a pleasure working with you, and we
It's
still
been an
have
honor.
ways to go. And
Yes.
I never remember. Do you don't come to SAM meetings? I don't think. Do you very often? Oh, you.
Yeah. I haven't yet. I will be there. I'm hoping this Saturday. I haven't walked out and I'm free.
Okay. The more you can, the better, because you know you help yourself, you help other people. You come there, you talk, you ask questions, you put in your
Yeah.
2 cents, say anything you want, um, and have fun with it.
Yeah.
And meet some other people who are where you are, they're behind you or the head of you or where you are,
Yeah.
and it's great. And practice sessions are good, of course, too. Did you do the mobile app? Did you download the mobile app?
I do have the app, yeah.
Good. Did you rate it? Did you give it a 5?
No, I am happy to do so, though. I'm happy. I'm more than happy to do so.
You gotta do that. We need these ratings. You gotta realize people don't give us credit. They think we're bad people.
Right.
And we need people. If people like you don't come and say, hey, stop it. This thing is working. Give it, spread the news. Don't do this to these people. I mean, we need help.
Okay, yes, will do. And I'll give it a 5-star, and I'll add some specifics as well.
Okay, all right. So I'll see you. I'll see you.
Great.
Maybe it's Sam in the interim.
Yes. Okay. Sounds great. Thank you,
Take
Coach.
care of yourself, mate.
Yes. Likewise. Thanks again. Bye.
Okay, buddy.